Welcome to the Embrilliance video training series. I'm Lindy Goodall, and in this video we'll create a new design by combining and customizing ready-made elements. Now I'm working in the Mac version of Essentials, and there's also a Windows version, so it works just like this one, so it won't be that much different and you can easily duplicate what I'm doing here. Combining and customizing ready-made elements is by far the fastest and easiest way to create a design when you aren't proficient at digitizing, or for that matter, even if you are, because they're already done and they're presumably already tested. So let's get started. I'm going to create a leaf corner element, and we're going to make it look something like this. And you can see that I've got 4 designs combined in here. And ultimately what we're going to make is a quilt label. So I had an email question and someone was asking me, how can I make quilt labels in Embrilliance? So we'll actually create the corner element in this video, but we won't build the label until a different video. So let's get started. Now switch over here. I have a new blank document. I have my hoop set at 100 by 100, which you can see down here. And I like to have a hoop displayed just for reference purposes. It helps me keep the design within a certain size. Embrilliance does not constrain the design to the frame in any way. It's just a visual reference. So to bring in some designs, I'll click on this icon, which is Merge a Stitch File. And I need to bring that up into the window here. I'm working on a very large monitor here, a 30-inch monitor, and we just can't do that in YouTube. So here you can see I am in the building blocks section of my designs, and I have the leaves shown. And these, right now it's showing all the files in this zip file, but let's scroll down and choose a format. Now ultimately I'm going to sew this on my baby lock, so I might be thinking, oh, I probably want to use PES. But if we look at these designs, we'll see that when they were colored, I used different shades of green. And also this one, I believe it's that one, well, a couple of these are 2 colors. So what I really want to do is I want to make a design that's all one color. Now, Essentials does have a button that you can click and make it all one color when you're done, but I'm going to use the DST because DSTs always put things in a default color sequence. So color number 1 is always black, at least in my software, and color number 2 is blue, and you can see that there's one of our 2 color designs. So this way I can pay more attention to my composition than the color. Sometimes color can confuse us. We might think something is ugly when it's really just a color choice. So I'm just going to pick some elements I like here, and I'm holding down the command key. I think this is the control key on Windows. And oh, that looks pretty good. And once I have a bunch of designs selected, I'll import. And they all come in a big pile in the center, but we can just move them out. Now, when we looked at our other design, we saw that it was built with 4 elements. And I can tell you that there's probably not an easy way for me to exactly duplicate what I did previously, but I want to show you how you can play with Essentials, because Essentials is not just a tool, it's fun, and you can just sit around and play and make things. So I'm going to pick out a couple elements that I like here. I really like this one. This is a nice big one, and it has some open spaces around it. And I'm just going to rotate it like that. And then we'll start building some elements onto it. So maybe I'll flip that around, and I have these tools up here. These are mirror buttons, mirror left to right, mirror up and down. I can rotate a specific degrees, but when I'm working this way, I'm usually just eyeballing stuff. And if I think things need to be a little bit smaller, I can scale them and resize them. And I will warn you, some of these elements have pretty small stitches. So even though Embrilliance will let you do wild and crazy resizing, you may not want to do that because of the design. It just may not work very well. So I'm sure that's not like the one that we did before, but I kind of like it, so let's go with that. Now I just get rid of these other guys. And you can see the designs that are left, and they're all black. Let's group this so that we have one piece. So we'll go to Edit, Group, or just Command G. I'm trying to remember to use the menu command so you can see what I'm doing. The fastest way, or the best way, and the least expensive way to speed up your computer is to speed up you. And to do that, you just learn keyboard shortcuts. So we have it as one color, and let's make it green. So I've got my thread set up to be Hemingworth because that's my favorite brand, that's my primary brand, and this way it makes it easy for me to choose what I want, and you can set it to whatever brand you have. So a green that I happen to like is called Bush Ivy, and I don't happen to remember the name or the number of it, but I can just type in Bush and go, and there it is. So we'll click OK, and there it is. And notice that I've moved it kind of up in this upper corner here, and we probably don't want to do it there if we were going to sew this as a single design. And if we were going to sew this as a single design, we have a couple of buttons here that we can use. One is Fit to Hoop. I don't want to do that because that's going to make it as large as whatever my displayed hoop is. But this other one centers the design in the hoop, which is always a good thing to do. And so there it is. I'm ready to save. And we'll just click the Save button, give it a name, and I'll just call it New Corner. And for the moment, we'll just save it to the desktop. And there we go. Now, it saved it in whatever format I've chosen as my default format, and I wasn't paying attention to the screen, so anyone remember what that was? And it also saves it as what we call a BE file. And the BE file is the Embrilliance working file. And you do want to save that because that saves some extra goodies with it. It remembers the original size of all of your elements. So if you ever need to resize, it goes back and it knows your original thing. So this is a really, really useful thing to have. Now in the next video, we're going to take this element and we're going to build a quilt label. And here's a quilt label using the corner element that I built before. And this is a 5x7 or 180 by 130 hoop. And I've displayed it sideways. I probably can't sew it that way on my machine if I only have a 5x7 sewing field. But we can lay these out in a way that makes sense to us and then rotate at the end. It doesn't make a big deal. So in the next video, we'll combine our elements and we'll add some lettering. So I hope you come back and watch the next one.